Welcome back, treasure hunters. Today we're diving deep into Season 12, Episode 18 of The Curse of Oak Island, an episode packed with new finds, hidden tunnels and game-changing evidence. Could this be the moment we've all been waiting for? Get ready, because we're about to break down all the jaw-dropping discoveries from the latest money pit developments to a 17th century pipe stem that could rewrite history. And trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this one. This week, the Legina brothers and their team took a massive step forward in their search by drilling RP1 and RP22, exploratory shafts aimed at locating the lost 1861 Shaft 6 tunnel. Now, a little history lesson back in 1861. Treasure hunters believed they had punched through 2 stacked wooden treasure chests at a depth of 100 feet in the money pit. But before they could retrieve whatever was inside, a suspected booby trap flooded the shaft, triggering a collapse that may have buried untold riches forever, fast forward to today. And the Oak Island team is convinced that if they can pinpoint Shaft 6, they just might find the scattered remains of those lost chests. The first shaft, RP1, went down to 114 feet. And while they didn't pull up any actual treasure, they did recover hand-cut timbers. This is huge, because it confirms they found remnants of Shaft 6. Geologist Terry Matheson analyzed the soil layers and agreed. We've definitely drilled past the old tunnel. But the real question is, where did the treasure go? And that, my friends, is exactly why they moved on to RP2, which is just 1 foot northeast of RP. When could RP2 finally hit the jackpot? One of the most intriguing finds in RP2 was a square-hammered wooden dowel. Now, at first glance, that might not sound exciting. But hold on, this could be huge. Why? Because this type of wooden fastener wasn't commonly used in 19th century searcher tunnels. In other words, this dowel could be from the original money pit, built before 1795. Rick Legina, always the optimist, was buzzing with excitement. If this is from the original construction, it could be the first real physical evidence of the money pit's builders. If the team can carbon date this dowel, and prove it predates the 2,000 treasure hunters of the 1800s, we might finally have evidence that someone buried something valuable on Oak Island long before the first search even began. Meanwhile, over in the swamp, the team unearthed even more clues that suggest Oak Island's secrets extend far beyond the money pit. So far, they've already discovered a cobblestone pathway, a vault-like structure made of slate and brick and strange wooden survey stakes. But this week, things got even more interesting. Iron spikes and a possible chisel could be signs of 17th or 18th century construction. More survey stakes. These match the ones found along the cobblestone pathway, hinting at a large-scale operation fragments of a leather shoe. And not just any shoe. This was a military-style boot, dating back to 1830 to 19 now. Here's where things get really interesting. The discovery of the leather boot instantly brought up the name Anthony Graves. Now, for those unfamiliar, Graves was a 19th century landowner on Oak Island. What's strange is that while he never officially joined any treasure hunts, he was rumored to have spent Spanish silver coins in nearby towns. Doug Crowell, one of the team's lead researchers, couldn't help but speculate. If Graves found something, there could be another hidden vault in the swamp. Could the cobblestone pathway and swamp structures be hiding a secret hoard of treasure that Graves quietly stumbled upon? And if so, is there still more left to find? One of the biggest bombshells of the episode came from the wash plant, as they were sifting through spoils from RP1. The team discovered a clay pipe stem. Now, at first, it seemed like just another artifact, until archaeologist Laird Niven and metallurgist Emma Culligan took a closer look. Their verdict: this pipe stem dates between 1680 and 1710. Let's pause for a second and think about what that means. That's at least 85 years before the money pit was discovered in 1795. It proves someone was deep underground, digging tunnels long before the first recorded treasure hunt. And here's the biggest kicker. It matches the time frame of Sir William Phips, 1687. Spanish treasure expedition, Marty Legina. The team's usual skeptic was floored. This is like finding a date inscribed in stone. It means someone was down their way before 1795. Could this be definitive proof that Oak Island's treasure story starts in the late 1600s, long before the young boys in 1795 ever picked up a shovel with all these discoveries stacking up? It's becoming harder and harder to dismiss the idea that multiple groups may have used Oak Island over the centuries. Some researchers believe the island's treasure history could be layered, meaning the Templars could have buried something here in the 1300s. The Spanish or British may have hidden loot in the 1600s or 1700s. 19th century searchers may have accidentally triggered collapses that scattered riches even further underground. And with new evidence, like the 1680s pipe stem and the possible hidden vault in the swamp, this theory is looking more plausible than ever. So what's next for the Oak Island team? RP2 is still being drilled. Will it finally intercept the lost shaft? 6 tunnel and reveal treasure. Will carbon dating confirm the wooden dowel is from the original money pit? Could the leather boots lead to proof that Anthony Graves found a secret fortune? And is the 1680s pipe stem the strongest link yet to Sir William Phips, legendary Spanish treasure? The team is closer than ever to cracking this 230-year-old mystery, and with each new episode, the excitement only builds as RP2 digs deeper. The team is holding its breath if RP2 successfully intercepts the lost shaft. 6 tunnel, we could be looking at the biggest breakthrough in Oak Island history. So far, it's pulling up hand-cut wooden beams, proof that they're right on top of something significant. But will it reveal the scattered remains of those 2 legendary chests that 19th century searchers swore they drilled into the key? Question now is how deep the treasure may have fallen during the 1861 collapse. If the floodwaters carried the loot farther down, it could still be buried in the surrounding underground voids. The team is already discussing the possibility of using new, high-tech scanning methods to locate any hidden pockets where treasure might have settled. Could this be the final piece of the puzzle? While the money pit remains the star of the show, the swamp is shaping up to be just as mysterious, if not more so. Over the past few seasons, the team has uncovered a massive cobblestone roadway, old wooden survey stakes, and what appears to be a sunken vault. Now with the discovery of iron tools and military-style boots, the evidence keeps mounting that someone used this area for a major operation centuries ago. And let's not forget the Spanish silver coins reportedly spent by Anthony Graves. If Graves truly discovered a hidden fortune in the swamp, that means at least some of Oak Island's treasure was successfully recovered. But what if there's still more left behind? The team is now considering expanded excavations to search for additional hidden chambers. The 1680s pipe stem may seem like a small discovery, but its implications are massive for years. Skeptics have argued that Oak Island's treasure legend is nothing more than a 19th century myth. But this pipe stem found deep underground in RP1 spoils directly contradicts that theory. If someone was smoking a pipe down there between 1680 and 1710, then someone was digging tunnels on Oak Island long before the money pit was discovered in 1795. And that timeline just so happens to match the era of Sir William Phips. the man who recovered an estimated $32 million worth of Spanish treasure from the shipwreck Conception? Did he secretly stash a portion of his fortune on Oak Island? The evidence is stacking up. And if the team can connect the dots between Philip's expedition and Oak Island, we may have the strongest historical proof yet that treasure was buried here in the 17th century. Another major possibility is that early treasure hunters unknowingly caused their own worst nightmare. When 19th century searchers dug Shaft 6 and tunneled toward the money pit, their efforts may have inadvertently caused the structure to weaken if the 2 wooden treasure chests were indeed there at the time, and the collapse sent them tumbling into deeper voids, then finding them today is an even bigger challenge. It's not just about hitting the right depth anymore, it's about finding where the treasure was displaced. So that's why RP2 is so critical, if it reaches the correct tunnel section and uncovers gold, silver, or other priceless relics. It will be the first real evidence that the 1861 collapse did not destroy the treasure, just buried it deeper with every new discovery. It's becoming clear that Oak Island's mystery isn't just one big treasure deposit. It's a series of layered events spanning centuries. Each clue, the dowel from RP2, the pipe stem from 1680, the boots in the swamp seems to point to different historical players who may have hidden wealth on the island. Was Oak Island used as a storage site for multiple treasure stashes over time? Did the Templars, pirates, and 17th century explorers all leave behind pieces of a much larger puzzle? If so, the treasure might not be in just one location. It could be spread out across various sites, waiting to be pieced together, like a treasure map made of real artifacts. The team is starting to suspect that they may not be looking for just one lost treasure, but several with only a few episodes left in the season. The stakes have never been higher. The next few weeks could determine whether RP2 leads to a massive discovery or just another frustrating dead end. Meanwhile, the swamp continues to reveal secrets, and the possibility of an underground Spanish treasure hoard linked to Sir William Phipps is more real than ever. So what will happen next? Will RP2 finally deliver gold, silver, or the long-lost treasure chests? Of 1861, will the swamp reveal another underground vault? One thing is certain. The legions are not giving up, and neither are we Stay Tuned treasure hunters, because the biggest revelation in Oak Island history may be right around the corner.